First, I blame the Arabs. I was in Dubai on a multi-month work project when some local political crisis erupted. I can't remember which one exactly. So I left early. Everything was arranged at the last minute. I did not have the opportunity to call my wife and warn her. In fact, I should have thanked the Arabs because as I approached the house, I found Randy, my wife, tongue-kissing her ex as they got into her Lexus with their 2 children, who had been my stepsons for 5 years. They beamed with joy at the sight of the happy family picture. I must say that all these years the children simply did not perceive me. Fred, my wife's ex-husband, beat her and went to jail for it, which led to their divorce. I think she was one of those women who always returned to her abuser. I thought I saved them all from him. It turns out that no. After they left, I spoke to a neighbor who said it looked like we were getting divorced. Fred Dolbanutz moved into the house 2 weeks after I left. The neighbor didn't like either Randy or Dolbanutz. Dolbanutz had some kind of construction work and left early in the morning. Randy was still working. The children went to school, so on Friday, while they were out, the moving crew and I went into the house. By lunchtime, everything was cleaned up. We weren't too careful. Randy and the kids' things were put in storage. My clothes and belongings were packed up for shipping. And anything that looked like fucker was thrown into the dumpster. The rest went to the thrift store. On the same day, I closed the sale of a house that was registered only in my name. It was sold below market price, just breaking even, due to the possibility that Randy would try to challenge the sale in court. She won't win. The buyer was a complete bastard developer. The mortgage advance went into one of my personal bank accounts. I didn't do anything with the leased Lexus other than stop paying for it. The car was in her name. The invisible hand of the market will do the rest. But I sold my car. When the home sale was completed, the courier gave Randy a copy of the divorce petition at her work. I then canceled and paid off the credit cards. I also sent all the money from U.S. banks via bank transfer to my bank in the UAE. During my recent trip, I opened a savings account there. The bastard real estate developer was kind enough to let me use the conference room in his office for all of this. My company transferred me to its subsidiary in the UAE, but in order to reduce taxation, this was framed as a resignation and then hiring by a foreign company. This allowed me to cash out $401,000 and cancel my family health insurance. My phone started ringing. It was Randy. I quickly blocked her number. That evening, I flew back to the Gulf. I hired a pretty young Filipina maid to attend to my needs, which is what she did. I spanked her sometimes, but only when she begged, and not very hard. Long story short, a few years later, I returned to the States with her, the divorce having been obtained a few years earlier. I even bought a new house next to my old one and reconnected with old friends. One dark and stormy night, we had continuous wet snow. This was quite unexpected, but climate change probably had an impact. Later that night, it turned into a snowstorm. It was windy, raining like buckets, and quite cold. How did I know? Some idiot knocked on my door at 1 in the morning. I opened the door and saw my old friend Lance standing there. Lance was now the county social worker. We haven't seen each other since Randy and I broke up. "Randy and the kids are in my car," he said. "Fred beat them all up pretty badly and was arrested. They were kicked out of their apartment and had nowhere to go on a night like this. I thought maybe you could help." I thought about trying to explain Ayn Rand's philosophy of rational selfishness, but decided against it. Her writing is so boring that it's hard to put it into words without being boring. In this case, it worked for me. "No," I said simply, closing the door, to Lance's surprise. I went back to bed with my Filipino wife. Sleep came easily.